Okay, getting started on day 43. It's resupply day, and here at the local Food Lion in Harrisburg. Spent the night here last night, and going to go on a resupply. So something that hadn't really talked too much about before, but some people have been asking, what do I eat on trail? So let's take a look and see what I end up with. Oh yeah. So that's the full resupply, and now we got to get it condensed so it can all fit in the pack. And weight's always a concern after resupply, but by getting rid of some packaging, it's going to drop a few, well, ounces, maybe a pound or two too. And here's everything all put together, and that includes a number of items that I had left over. So this will all fit in the pack pretty well. That's all the packaging that I was able to get rid of. Give it maybe half a pound, so that's good. But this should get me through. I'm going to be up maybe as many as 6 or more days before my next resupply. I might be able to get something earlier than that, but just in case, I'll have plenty. And for total weight, it's just about 10 pounds, a little short, but so that's manageable, and that's gonna get lower every day. Okay, it's kind of a later start to the hike today. It took a while to resupply and get myself reset, but on the trail now. And the plan for today is gonna be based on the rain, I think, because it's supposed to have rain coming in anytime afternoon and then through the night, and then good part of tomorrow. So I think I'd rather be in a shelter if I can than tenting. And there's a shelter not too far up. It's about 8 miles. And that'll work out. It's kind of a short day, but getting a late start. Because the next one isn't for almost 20. And that might be stretching it today, especially if it's raining. So I'm going to see how it goes. But I'm glad to be back on trail. It's good resupply. Heavy, but still, it's good. Hi, little guy. I'm not going to bother you. I'm just going to walk by. Ooh, you are one big rat snake. It's at least 6 feet. Okay, let's see, it's day 44 and it's Saturday morning, and I'm trying to get myself going. Yesterday was kind of a tough day. not tough, but you know, it was embrace the you-know-what day. It got pretty rainy, and the trail got wet, and it was pretty rocky. I ended up slipping and face planting at one point, but you know, you got to live with that stuff. No injury, so that's good. But it did stop at one point, and I was able to set up a tent in a reasonable spot and you know, stay dry and warm. So now I'm trying to wait out the rain this morning and get a good start to try to get as many as 20 miles in today. The tricky part is that the trail's going to be wet, it's going to be rocky, and there's 2 mountains ahead. They're both, you know, 2,000 plus elevation gain. So, you know, it's going to be some work, but this stretch it's long, and I want to keep the miles going. So we'll do what we need to do. It'll be a good day. It's always a good day. Okay, it's cold, it's rainy, it's windy, and I'm embracing it hard today. You know what? But it's still good. I'm loving it. I'm on trail. Is that an omen? Brave crow. Oh, you hurt? Okay, getting started on day 45 and just left the War Spurs shelter area. I tented there last night. Yesterday went about 17 miles, and it was tricky doings here. Ouch. Excuse me. It was kind of a hard hike. Start off in the rain, and the rain did break eventually, but it was still cold and windy all through the day and tough footing. So I'm pretty tired. When I got into camp, I pretty much made dinner and set up tents, and I was asleep by 6:30, believe it or not. So I think I needed to rest. Still catching up on sleep from last week. But today, I want to try to get some more miles in. You know, we'll see how it goes. Hoping to get maybe 17 to 20 in. We'll see. Got a couple big mountains to go over. First one's coming right up. A lot of vertical. So it'll be a challenge today. Just got to keep moving through this 100-mile stretch to get to the next resupply. Oh, things are finally starting to bloom. Oh, it's so beautiful. Huh, that happened quick. Huh. I didn't know there was an Eastern Continental Divide. Huh. Okay, getting started on day 46. Nice sunny morning. It's a bit of a change. It's still cold, but sunny, and it's going to be nice today. Went 19 hard miles yesterday, and it's been a tough stretch since leaving the last town in this 100-mile section before the next resupply. But the good news is coming up on an area known as Virginia's Triple Crown, and that has the Dragon's Tooth, McAfee Knob, and Tinker's Cliff. So I'm going to be hitting all of those in the next 2 or 3 days. And what I'm probably going to end up doing is slowing it down a bit so I can really enjoy that section. And I got a lot of resupply recently, and that's still holding out pretty good. So I think I should be able to make it till the next stop. And still take my time doing all that. But, you know, we'll see how that goes. Hopefully the weather will hold out. All right, here we are, 700 miles. Hooray! Just almost up to the backside of Dragon's Tooth. Kind of see it's just up there. Can't wait to get to the other side and see what's over there. It's supposed to be a nice view, and I'm ready for lunch. All right, here we are at Dragon's Tooth, the first jewel in the Virginia Triple Crown. Oh my gosh, they're just so beautiful. Do we all have our loner clothes on? Is that what it is? Okay, that's fine. So we're here. It's the Huckleberry's Hostel, right?
Yes.
And we're sitting by the fire, and I met you guys up on Dragon's Tooth.
Yes.
And you guys are all from Minnesota.
You did. You were the welcoming party.
That's right. I get up there.
T-shirt.
Where's the tin? And you guys.
However, you had no t-shirts for us.
Yeah, I know, and that's still disappointing. But that was a great hike. So you guys are all from Minnesota, and you guys are all friends, and just somehow it came to be
we
that.
don't all live in Minnesota now.
Oh.
I'm still in Minneapolis, but we got.
I'm in Oregon.
Oh, wow.
And then she and I live in Atlanta.
That's.
Yeah.
And you're
Georgia.
still Minnesota?
Still in Minneapolis. So Amy and I were neighbors in Minneapolis,
Mhm.
and the rest of these women work together at the
okay.
University of Minnesota. Yep.
Oh, okay.
And my husband and I had hiked a lot of the Superior hiking trail on the North Shore of Minnesota. And Amy and I, we had talked about it a number of times. And then you moved to Georgia, and as far as I remember it went something like, welp, this is where the AT starts, so we should probably hike the AT.
They were our first visitors, our first house visitors in Georgia, her family. And she was like, Amy, you realize the Appalachian Trail starts in Georgia? And I was like, I don't know. And then my
Did you actually make that
family-
noise?
There's always a lot of that in our relationship. And so then my family took a trip to the Smoky Mountains, and we got up to what's
Newfound Gap,
where
yes.
you can drive up there, you know, and
Sure.
and so I was up there, and I read in my little travel book like,
And this
oh,
was
you
in,
can like walk on the AT, and I was like,
this
Kate,
was in
2020, like
It was 2020, so masks
pandemic,
on.
yeah.
And Amy sent me this picture, and it was like she was like standing on the Appalachian Trail.
Yeah. And I took this picture with my mask on. That's right. Okay. And
it was like,
and it's got the sign behind me, and I said, Kate, look where I am. And then within 15 minutes, Kate had already booked her flight for our hike, for our first hike. I'm not kidding with that.
Well,
like,
and
that
also
is a
during
literal
COVID.
thing.
the
Wow.
backstory on that part was that like my husband, who was my hiking partner in Minnesota, was like, so I'm booking you a flight so you can hike with someone else.
Thank God, someone else.
And I wanted to go on that hike, but I had already had a trip to the Hamptons scheduled, so I didn't do the first section. I joined them on the second.
On the second. She's
And then we had our first hike, and then the three of us had the second hike, and then on the third hike,
All of
Amy
Amy's
was
friends
like,
wanted
I
to
have
join.
so many friends that want to join. So there's two other women, Stephanie and Meredith, and then
Yeah, I saw that she posted it on Facebook that she had gone, And I'm like, oh my gosh, the next time you go, I want to go.
So this is going to keep on snowballing.
Yeah.
Correct.
And then I have
we've got our 6.
And then I have a high school friend, Kendra. So she called me out of the, like, we were best friends, like, we were super close in high school and had kind of drifted. And she called me and she goes, I can't explain it.
Yeah.
She goes, I have to hike. And I said, you don't have to, I know. You don't have to explain it to me. I know. And she's got 4 kids and one of them's a real, like, she's got a lot of stuff. And it was like, for me, like, such a pleasure to take her from, like, a person who hadn't hiked, to take Amy from a person who hadn't ever backpacked, to being out here. And then, so we have this group of 6, and now it's just whoever can come.
Yeah.
That's great. And you're going to keep on, as
will-
long as you want to keep on doing it.
Spring and fall,
Yeah.
and we'll be together.
think you'll make-
want to do the whole thing.
Do you think you'll make it to Maine at some point?
Yeah.
That's
the
awesome.
plan. We're trying to figure out what we need to do now before we're like 80.
Yeah.
Well,
Like-
yeah,
like
what's
my
the
age.
hardest? What
You're
are-
not 80.
And I need to catch up
You're
on a
not
couple
80.
of the sections.
I'm not 80,
because
but
I
I'm
started-
retired. I'm old.
Oh, you're just retired though.
Yeah.
You
The
will.
thing, the
I have
thing
a
about-
couple of sections that they did before I started
All right.
that I need to get other people to go on.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
The thing
Nice.
about the
Plan.
trail for me though is I can really, really admire a through hiker, but I get to like do this hike and then like grow in my life and then do this hike and grow in my life. So I feel like I get to have like decades of doing this hike.
This is
Yeah.
a constant, always there.
And almost like I almost don't, I hope we like don't finish it because I would never want to like have a time where I'm like, I don't have that.
Yeah.
So
That's deep.
it's okay. Like we can just skip like some swamp in somewhere and be like, "We're like we never did that 5 miles something." Because I like the idea that it's just out there.
But then
Yeah.
we can just do like a new hike.
I mean, there's
Like-
other hikes.
Like in Spain.
Okay,
Like in
There are
Spain.
no other hikes.
Can I
Like
say
in
something? What Kate said
Spain.
about growing in her life and then going back to the hike,
Yeah.
I really appreciate that because so many things have happened in all of our lives, and it just
Make me cry.
is a place to
I'm crying. So
heal.
you might as well be crying.
Is a place to heal.
Yeah.
It's a place to tell.
man.
There's some stuff that I've never told any other person that
Yeah.
you guys know.
Yeah.
That's
and
true.
and
too.
we can talk about things and it's just like there's no drama. Everybody is loving and accepting of each other in this group, and that matters a lot, I think,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you feel safe. You feel safe.
Yeah.
That
You
is,
feel really
see, that's so beautiful. And that's why I like asking people these questions because it's the tales from the trail, and
Yeah.
you know, you're not the first people to like cry and stuff when you're talking about this stuff, and it's just so emotional sometimes. It's beautiful. Well, thank you,
And then
everybody.
wait, hold on. And
Okay.
then you come to places like Huckleberry's Hostel where you meet people like yourself, where it's
Yes.
like you just like you
This
connect with
community.
all
Yeah.
this other community
It's
that
so
are hiking
amazing.
and for all their other personal reasons.
I
So-
talk to people all the time like that. So
Yeah.
let's just say that we're all like at a bus stop, right? And we're all
Yes.
waiting for the bus. We're not going to talk like this. We're
Yeah.
not going to chat. We're just
No.
going to stare forward and
Yeah.
do
Be on our
whatever.
phones.
Oh, yeah.
True.
Yeah.
It's true.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's great.
So
Well,
Good
cool.
questions.
Thank
well,
you.
thanks, ladies.
So
really
thanks for
appreciate
welcoming
it.
us today at Dragon City.
Yeah.
T-shirts are waiting for your new tents. Alrighty, getting started on day 47. Bright sunny morning. Oh, it's gonna get hot today, up in the 80s. I remember in Georgia hiking in the 20s and 30s and thinking, oh, I can't wait to get in these hot weather days. And now they're here, so no complaining. I like hot weather. So anyway, yesterday went about 17. Went over the first of the Triple Crown Jewels, Dragon's Tooth, and that was really spectacular. So I liked that a lot. And then afterwards, ended up going to a brand new hostel that just opened up this year called Huckleberry's, and had a really nice overnight stay there. I couldn't resupply, but was able to charge electronics, get some much needed laundry and shower in. I was very gamey after 4 or 5 days out here, and as I think I said before, my opinions on hostels is really turned around. I didn't really think I'd be interested in staying in hostels very much when I was planning this trip, but now that I'm out here, it's one of my favorite parts. I still don't want to stay in them too often because you know, I like being out here and camping, and that's a big part of, you know, the trip. But, you know, the hostels are also, I think, a big part of the experience for the AT. I mean, last night was just, you know, same as it's been other places. You meet people, brand new people. Everyone's got a different story. And it's all good. And I really enjoyed that part of the AT experience. So it's nice with Huckleberry and Hummingbird. The hosts made me feel really at home. And even though it was a quick stay, just to kind of shine my boots, so to say, you know, it was great. So back on the trail. Today, I'm going to try to get over McAfee's Knob. McAfee's Knob, the Minnesota ladies told me locals call it McAfee's Knob. And possibly get the third jewel as well today if I can get over it. And I'm really looking forward to that. So let's see how the hike goes, and hopefully the weather will be really nice and not too hot. Oh man, nice. Hey, made it up to the top of Tinker Cliffs. It's just so beautiful up here. And it's the third of the Triple Crown jewels. McAfee's Knob, just can't say enough about that. That was exhilarating, lived up to the hype, whatever does that, right? It was beautiful. And this is nice too, you know, but I think I might stay up here for a bit. Okay, let's see. It's day 47. Getting off to a bit of a rainy start of the day, but that's okay. It's a nice warm rain today. I like it. And coming off a great day yesterday. Oh, it was so nice. Completing the final two jewels of the Virginia Triple Crown, including McAfee Knob, which I just love being up there. I could have spent all day if I didn't have places to go. It's rare that something actually lives up to the hype. That did. So that was great. Ended up going about 17 miles and then camped out with Lucas and Barefoot, who I ran into up there. I hadn't seen them for over a week. And so we camped out on the other side of Tinker's Cliff. And I was tinkering, dad humor. I was tinkering with the idea of going up for a sunrise this morning, but with the clouds and rain, I'm glad I didn't. So for today, I'm gonna be going into Daleville, and it's not that far. It's only about 8 miles. And I think I might end up doing a Nero there. So I have to resupply. I also got to go to an outfitter. I'm gonna maybe get some new shoes. These trail runners have held up for 700 plus miles, and that's more than I thought they were gonna. So I don't want to push my luck. The treads are wearing. I'm starting to slip on rocks. So I'm gonna see if they got something that I like there. So we'll see how that goes. But anyway, I could also use a bit of a rest. It's been a long stretch since the last town, and I've been pushing miles hard over very tough terrain, so it's probably going to be good for me to do that. So we'll see. You know how it gets. I might get into town and say, you know, it's 1 o'clock. I'm going to keep going, but we'll see. All right, getting going on day 49. Beautiful sunny day. Actually been out for about a couple hours. Climbed out of Daleville. Got a good resupply there yesterday. Also went to an outfitter. I don't know if you can see, but got new trail runners, and they feel great. Oh, it was starting to slip on wet rocks and starting to feel the old ones going, but they lasted over 700 miles, so gotta say that's pretty good, more than I thought. But now, you know, I feel so light on my feet, and so that was good to do. Actually came at the advice of my sister Jen, who's also kind of my personal coach from home. You know, she's been checking in with me pretty much daily to make sure I'm doing okay and giving me advice and thoughts and ideas. And quite honestly, I'm not sure I could have done this well without her. She's great. We call her the Sarge on trail because she's kind of a drill sergeant and always pushes us to our limits, which I like. Sweet woman though, really. Just sometimes on trail she, you know, gets that persona. So, but she really is a sweet woman. Anyway, she saw me, a picture of me at McAfee Knob, my feet dangling over the edge. And where most people were like, "No, what are you doing?" She was zoomed in on my shoes and said, "Brother, you got to get yourself a new pair." So I did the next day. I listened to her. She's my sister and she's my coach, and she knows what she's talking about. So thanks, Jen. Sarge. Okay, that does it for week 7. Another great week on trail. Still having a great time out here. Highlights, of course, Virginia Triple Crown, McAfee Knob in particular. That was just, amazing. And I remember coming across the Blue Ridge Parkway and just crossing that at a spot that Julie and I were at 39 years ago on our honeymoon. It was just out of the blue. That was just really something. Low lights, I guess there was a few days leading into the Virginia Triple Crown where it was just cold and rainy and windy, and tough terrain, and that was tough. But you know, that's part of the trail life, and it's sometimes a good part when you think about it, because as bad as it gets, you know, you just got to kind of laugh it off, and then all of a sudden the sun shines and you're back to remembering why you're out here. Just, you know, you get to do this, and I just even love that element. So it's a great week, and looking forward to next week.